he's aping me.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we do have 4 NA teams currently left in the upper bracket. No EU teams are there, so we are not going to be switching servers. It is all NA servers all day for these upper bracket matches. Of course, our EU teams are still in the lower bracket. They are still going to be battling it out, and you may see more of them later. But as we get into Envy versus SSG SpaceStation Gaming, there is no worry about ping. Unfortunately, no team has the ping and will have an advantage. It's all going to be the best possible ping that they can get. And we do see
Big Iron
coming out from Busy. He loves running these different weapons. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, Big Iron, like I said, can be very good against lights, especially you are dealing with Grad, one of the crazier lights in the game. You want to take out Grad with a headshot, get him out of the fight as soon as possible. We have SSG on the high ground right here, kind of playing slow, looking for making Envy, make a play here, do something. A little bit of damage coming out on Lamp. He's going to get healed back up. Is that a heal beam? That is a heal beam on normalized.
Both teams running heal beam.
Heal beam, you love to see the heal beam coming back into the meta. Oh,
it's full heal meta. Full heals all day, especially with that infuser on these teams. Heavy's dueling out in the stairs. A big stair battle here from Busy and Lamp. They're both doing damage to each other, but the heals are there to recover them as Lamp jumps out to the side. He's getting healed up by both his medium and his light currently. But nobody is dead. They've been able to escape. Both teams just licking their wounds. They haven't even tapped the vault yet, Satan.
Very interesting the way these guys are playing right now. They are, a lot of damage coming out, but able to reset on the side of both of them right now. Busy was a little bit in trouble, but now he's good. And we are going to re-engage yet again. Vault still not tapped. SSG just remaining on high ground. They want Envy to make a play. They want Envy to do something here as they maintain the positional advantage on high ground. Lamp taking a little bit of damage. He's going to be chilling with the heal. Double heals.
Double heals. No, you have to be really good on damage if you're going to be able to make anything stick. It looks like a winch missed from Lamp. He has to back away. He's taking a lot of damage. The glitch actually misses his dome. Both heavies use domes right now. STN gets taken down. That's one of the healers there. Lamp getting the better of that disadvantage currently. But Stu gets the pick on the Grad. He's down 2 versus 2. The winch does hit. He goes into the jump pad. He doesn't get him to take out him. Busy just snipes him out of the air. Looking for this defib. He does get him back up. It's normalized versus Stu. We've seen Stu crazy clutches before, and he does. He actually takes out Grad. It's now 1v1 once again. Normalized. Can he get another revive? It looks like he's going to stick for this long revive. As Stu is also going to go lick his wounds and wait for the team to respawn.
Yeah, incredible peel by Stooge right there, able to get his team back up. Point. I want to stress this. Still not tapped. We are not touching the point until this team fight is over, until this thing is over with. So and looking like, oh, they finally out for it.
They touch it now, but remember, we're talking about how defensive focused this map is. You do not want your opponent to have any chance of being able to plug before you do. Because if they do, you're going to struggle.
No, exactly. And we can see how Envy, they tapped it. And you know what? Let's get some positional advantage now. They're going to take the middle of the map on the side of Envy right now. They're going to wait for SSG to kind of make a play, rotate the box, and kind of float to wherever they want. SSG does not want to move. They're like, you know what? We have box. You guys could do whatever you want. And now they're finally opting for a play here to rotate over to B, it's looking like. And all Envy has to do is kind of float over. And they're going to see them moving over there because they do have the box. So they're just going to float over to B and kind of re-engage over there. And see how Envy tries to take out any of these players. SSG does not want to cross. They just want to fight on this corner right here, take some poke damage. Man, this is... yeah, these teams are playing incredibly patient right now. They know both teams are some of the best teams in the game. So they want to play this absolutely perfectly.
You're going to see basically mostly the heavies sticking their heads out right now. With the infuser and the heal beam, it's going to be the heavies that are showing their face, especially on the side of Envy, because Busy has the long range damage. On the side of SSG, Normalize is going to be looking to do more of those long-range picks. It's not going to be less Lamp, and you might see, but you're never going to see Grad stick his head out, because Grad is one of those lights that has fully disappeared into the support role. He is very, very disciplined at not
a lot of damage.
They do winch it in. They do get the plug, but they're just going to back away. And again, Busy immediately goes for the steal, just catches them a little off guard. He's actually going to flip
Not a bad
this.
play.
No
Not a bad play. That's a great play for Busy right there. Getting that flip as soon as possible, as soon as his plug. Now they have the defensive opportunity here. They're going to take some shots with the big iron.
Really surprising that they let him get away with that, but that's the problem when you don't have DMAT and you don't have time to set the C4 up. It's just easy to make that happen. Shots from Busy with that big iron. He's looking to do some damage from range. Just a single pick could turn this fight, but there's so many heals that a lot of that damage could just get turned around on. They're looking to try and get on even footing, because if they can get on top of Busy, that SA-12 is going to shred him. Lamp takes a hit as soon as he turns around the corner. Doesn't have a mesh, but of course, with the double heals, all of that damage is immediately healed back up. On the ground floor, they can winch this further in, have the goo down, looking for the getaway gateway there, keeps them safe. So even though they brought them in, they now have the high ground again. They're up on top of this, but it looks like SDN, he could get out. Stu gets picked off. Grad taking him out, but Busy is able to take out Lamp. The heavy is down for the side of SpaceStation Gaming. Going to go ahead and pick off the heavy for Envy as well. He drops his dome shield, but he's getting pushed. He hits the glass ceiling. Unfortunately for Normalize, he can't actually push on top of that. They still have to go for the flip, but Busy, he's going to get taken down by Grad. Grad pushing very aggressively. STN gets the turn on a Normalize. It's 1 versus 1. STN versus Grad. We've seen Grad clutch out 1 versus 5. Can he do it 1 versus 1 right now? Looking for those picks. The defib does come out, but he's still chasing after the enemy. Stu is up, but he doesn't have any dashes. He's going to get picked off, but it's who? Perfect coordination from the side of Envy. A combined 50 health, but they managed to make this work.
That is the first team wipe of this match. This point was a one-and-done situation, one fight, and Team Envy is going to come out on top. I will say, the way that these teams are playing right now is kind of reminiscent of more of like a tack shooter play style, where they're playing their lives, they're playing angles, they're just kind of living as long as possible. They're kind of playing like they have one life, you know, like they cannot die. Nobody can die in this situation, so both teams just really, you know, respecting each other and rotating around and trying to figure out how they can take out their the opponent. It's very reminiscent of something like a tag shooter right now, the way these teams are playing. So, love to see this.
I do love to see a bit of a meta shift, you know, as the teams fight. They actually have tapped the vault, so that's a bit of a, you know, we're doing better than the last time as Brad does take out Busy. So Busy's low, STN gets wrapped around on. He's about to go down as well, so not a great start. Unfortunately, SSG do get the worst of that engagement. I'm sorry, Envy gets the worst of that engagement. SSG wrapped around on them really, really nicely. They're going to go get a plug on this box for sure, because A is so close. But if this ends up being meta with this double heal, expect to see a lot more fights like this, because we've spent so long with these really snowbally, incredibly fast fights where teams will just roll on top of the enemy and just whoever gets that first pick, it just snowballs.
Kind of just like full send it.
Yeah, exactly. If we see this much healing and the heal beam is genuinely back, expect to see more fights like this where it's a lot more methodical. Teams are willing to back out and not push if they don't need to.
No, exactly. Playing their life is detrimental. It is very important for these players to stay on their feet no matter the situation. And we see that happening right now as we speak.
Grad could get found if he's not careful. He's directly underneath the entirety of them. He dashes away now. Knew that he was in a tough spot, so he's able to get out of dodge, keeps himself alive because he needs to be there for his team. The Infuser and the Heal Beam both going to be doing a ton, of course. We talked about them endlessly so far. This is all on SSG right now. They need to make sure that they can hold on to this because they don't want to go down one map against Envy. Envy, the champions of PHL Season 0, we know how much they can do. But SSG haven't been absolutely on fire lately. Very methodical. Very methodical play.
I believe Envy won the mechanic as well. Kind of reigning champs over here.
Busy pushes very aggressively, but it takes a lot of damage for it. The RPG does do a lot to SSG. However, they drop down with that damage, with the return. The dome shields come out for both heavies, and the winch is in. They take out one. Lamp, both heavies are dead for both teams. Can they get the defib? He's looking to go ahead and run for it. They're both defib, both heavies back on the scene. They're going to be at half health. Can they take each other out? Stu on the back end continues to do so much, but Busy's on his health beat. And a dream with a flick from Busy.
He gets it.
Out one. He gets two. Are you kidding me? The BFR.
It.
Busy
all
with the
day.
clutch. Insane from Busy.
Massive big iron plays right there. Taking out Grad with the one shot. Taking out the medium right there at the end. Massive play right there by Busy. Able to clutch game 1, 2-0.
Woo! I tell you what.
Hey. Yeah.
I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong, right?
Right.
And I have been proven wrong. The big iron is here to stay. The BFR. You know, that absolutely. If he'd run SA12, he's not getting that point, right? Like it's just there's too much delay. But the flicks, Busy. That was insane.
Look at this leaderboard. I mean, the board, the numbers say it all. Back and forth, both teams going insane. We see Grad with 6 kills, almost 4,000 damage. Busy, kind of matching that energy as well. 4 kills with Busy, 4 kills for Stooch. STN, 2 kills, doing what he got to do as a medium heal beam play style. We can see.
Look at the heal discrepancy on these.
Exactly, literally exactly what I was going to point out. Exactly what.
Envy won, but it did less healing. So the damage was going in favor of Envy. When they did damage, it led to kills.
Exactly.
When SSG did damage, it didn't lead to kills. It just got healed back up. They weren't able to capitalize on the damage that they did. And that's why you see Normalize with 4,000 heals that didn't actually do anything.
Right. We are booting into our next match here, over here at Nozomi Citadel. Game 2. Big game for SSG. They need to clutch this game. They don't want to be too old. Hopefully they clean things up and get some kills. More how would you say, more proficient kills, I would say, or meaningful kills on the side of SSG to try to take these points here. So exciting second game coming up.
I do like the idea of the double heals, and obviously Normalize, it was working for him with all of the healing he was doing. But I do wonder if maybe, because STN basically has double duty to do right now, right? Like in those long range engagements, he has to both heal and do damage because they're running the SA12 on the side of SSG. That kind of puts him in a tough spot where all of a sudden he has to do so much. He has to juggle all of these different responsibilities in these fights, and that makes it hard because if he takes damage, then all of a sudden that's some damage that Grad doesn't have to pump into Lamp. And I worry that maybe the difference there, as we see the different loadouts being run, maybe the DMAT would have been more useful. Try to focus more on that, just roll over them and get them before the heal beam can actually reverse that damage. Maybe something like that could have been good. But as we look into this now, I want to see if we have 2 SA12s. Yes, there is no big iron in this map right now. It's SA12 all day.
All day. We still see double heal beam though. We still see both teams opting for heal beam in these situations, which I like a lot. I like to see heal beam kind of returning to kind of its former glory. So big RPG coming out, taking out Normalize with the RPG winch play right there. Both of them coming out in the heavies. Heavies are gonna battle it out right now. It is very close. Heal gun comes out and restores Busy, helping them out, and Grad's gonna be taken out as well for the team wipe. We have Team Envy taking the first team fight of this match, going to get the plug as well because the point was plugged, and now they're gonna have a massive kind of defensive situation here on the side of Team Envy.
And I got to shout out Michaelo in the chat with a phenomenal little bit of there. Have you ever heard of the Big Iron song, The, oh, he might have went on living, but he made it slip. when he tried to match the Busy with the big iron on his hip.
Yeah.
It's
Big
too
iron
good, man.
on his
Huge shout out. That was
hip.
great. But the fight is kicking on. SpaceStation Gaming looking to take this away from Envy right now as they press into the fight. Brad takes out Stu on the back end. That's a huge pick, getting that enemy light out. And Busy pushes in, looking to take out Normalize. He's pushing after him. He's very, very low. Everyone's low on SpaceStation Gaming. They're going to get melted by STN. And Envy holding on to this one for now.
Pretty fast team fight right here. They're gonna have another opportunity, possibly two opportunities, depending on how these team fights play out. But that was a very fast wipe, so they're gonna have yet another opportunity easy to try to retake this point. So unfortunate that they wiped, but they do have another shot. So gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay for SSG. They're jumping in, looking like he's getting deleted. Grad is getting deleted out the sky. That was so close.
But Lamb going through by himself. What happened there? They glitched the gateway. Incredible heads up from Stu there as they tried to go through.
This is
a little bit of a miscommunication. Yeah, because
this is gonna be a lot harder now.
Grad pushes in and he gets so low in the course of crossing that he actually takes his own gateway back to stay alive. And then all of a sudden, Lamp jumps through, the gateway gets closed because of the glitch, and he's just isolated from his entire team, and the fight's just over. Like, there's just nothing
beautiful glitch, displacing the heavy. Yeah, beautiful timing all around by Stu-J with that glitch. Able to close off Lamp by himself there. Able to, win that team fight rather fast. They know they're not going to have an opportunity for this, so they're going to opt for positioning here on this next vault.
This is Envy's game to lose right now. SSG have to put something together. Continuing to struggle to get past the long-range damage here between that FAMAS on
Yeah, we see
STN.
SSG on high ground. They're probably going to get a tap. Yeah, they do get the tap, and they're just going to hold high ground. This is a really good high ground to have for SSG. They're going to wait patiently and trying to get some intel onto Envy and try to pounce on their opportunity given the situation. We're going to probably opt for positioning here as well, looking like a reverse gateway play. Busy on high ground right now with the RPG. He's looking for it. He wants a fat one.
Looking for that pick. They run away. They've actually dropped the dome. Lamp's already used some of his utility, and they're just going to leave the vault on the ground. But Grad gets picked off. Grad isolated by himself, very uncharacteristic from Grad. Normally he's so far behind his team. They're just going to blow the fight wide open. He's down, Busy, chasing afterwards. They've taken out Lamp. They're looking for Normalize, and Normalize at this point might just need to wipe. He's going to stay alive for now. Doesn't want to wipe just yet. Keep his coins alive. Only 10 seconds left before Grad's here. And again, making sure that he can stay close by. Because A is so near, he doesn't want to reset fully.
Right, we're going to see a plug for Envy and a setup yet again. All of, actually, SSG's trying to get back on their feet. They're probably going to wait for coin here on Lamp. Lamp coins in, and now SSG's on their feet, trying to rotate in. Lots of damage coming out on Lamp. He's going to be half HP right now. He's going to have to wait for his regen here or get healed back up, and he does. And they're going to try to re-engage here quickly as possible, crossed over. A little bit of damage coming out on Stooge. He's going to live as well. He's going to get healed back up. And now it's kind of like a stall fest both. So SSG has to figure out how they want to approach and cross over right here. They're looking for a pad.
Nice
TP play. Nice play to get in their face and take this brawl fight. Lamp's going to take a little damage. He's chilling.
Not a move that I think they expected. RPG does do a lot of damage to SSG, but the heals are there. And Busy wrapping around, does get the wins, but he has to retreat in just a matter of moments. But Stu takes out Grad once again. Grad getting found from the places he's not supposed to be found. The wraparound is there from Busy. He's looking to take him out. They're going down. SSG are crumbling. It's over for them in this fight. They're going to have one more fight for them to take A, or it's it for them in this upper bracket.
Sticky situation for SSG. This is not looking good. This is, once again, Envy does have one game in the bag. They're going to have one opportunity here to turn things around, possibly take this to a third cash out, but it's going to be slim. It's going to be close. This is going to be do or die for SSG right here. They have to be aggressive and get on point, maybe get a wipe. get a kill as fast as possible here. So they're gonna dive, they're gonna brawl, and things are gonna kick off right now.
Pushing it very aggressively. They found Busy. The healing is there. Grad this time not getting picked off. He needs to win again. That's the end. He's pushing in. He does win that battle. But it's only Stu versus Grad right now. Normalized on a sliver of health. But he's able to do. He takes out 2. Stu looking for the 3rd. Can he do this? 1 versus 3. He's able to stop Stu. He gets the triple. He keeps it alive and he wins the match.
Beautifully played by Stooge, being patient on point, able to clean up the rest of SSG, who was very low on that retake situation right there, and Stu locking it in for the triple kill at the end. Beautifully played by Envy, and Envy takes the set.
Whoo! He did not need a big iron on that one. He just needed the 93R. That was insanity, wrapping that out at the end.
You can see on the leaderboard, SSG kind of falling apart on that second game. We see Normalized less than 1,000 damage. Grad, not the best numbers as well. Lamp 1 in 7. Yeah, SSG had an absolute struggle fest on Nozomi Citadel. Envy looks sharp right now, going into semifinals. Is it? Wow, already?